What's up, boys? I got a little explaining here to do at the beginning. It's not an ad, I promise, just hear me out. This video was supposed to be up Monday, but then Chris surprised me and I ran out of memory on my laptop. So this video was all ready to go pretty much. I just hurried up, finished it up, uploaded it to YouTube so I could get Chris's video out first, but I accidentally uploaded it in 480p. I re-downloaded it and it looks like it's gonna let me convert it to 1080. But I really don't understand what I'm doing. Don't really understand editing all like that. So I don't know if it's going to actually look worse. But if it does, I mean, I just want you guys to know my video quality usually isn't this bad. I mean, this is just my luck, right? I get a chunk of subscribers and the very next video I'm going to put up is going to have horrible quality. And I thought about not even putting it up, but I actually had a lot of you guys that said you're interested in how to do the front end on one of these trucks. So here you go. Here's how to do the whole front end on a GMC or a Chevy 2500. This will work for a 1500 too. Pretty much any GMC Chevy truck. Hey, what is up, boys? Back out here working on the GMC tool truck, dream tool truck. Gotta take this front end apart. I got two wheel bearings coming and the whole front end. Comes with ball joints, lower control arms, everything. This is clapped. Let's get these wheels off and I'll show you. I mean, it's gonna have everything. I got inner tie rods, which you can see that's clapped. I got outer tie rods, which is clapped. I got these Pitman arms, both of them, which they're both clapped. I got that Pitman arm, the stabilizer shock, that whole brace up there. I got new ball joints for the bottom. I got both wheel bearings and hubs, and I got two new upper control arms, just a whole assembly. It's gonna need an alignment, but you know, I'm kind of rolling the dice here. The parts aren't even here yet. They're not going to be here till like 10 o'clock tonight. So I was like, I'll at least get it all tore apart today, and then tomorrow I can slap it back together. Let's start the hub, or the wheel bearing. So you got to get that out. Let's get these up out of the way. Disconnect all this, get it up out of your way. And then I'll probably just like zip tie the caliper up somewhere. You got to get the caliper bracket, and the rotor off. All right, that's got to come off. Oh my god. Well, good thing I'm replacing that. Everything's just gonna fall apart in this truck obviously today. I got so spoiled with working on nice stuff and this thing is kicking my butt. I've never had a caliper this hard to get off. And just try to take the whole bracket off together as one. Probably zip tie it to the sway bar because that's staying on. And then this hub bearing is going to come out, which is these 4 bolts. See them? 1, 2, 3, 4. This whole thing should want to fall out. Yeah, see, I couldn't get that rotor off because that bolt is broke off. Usually there's 2, but whoever did these last only put 1 in and it's broke off. This is gonna have to be all cleaned up, this whole knuckle, before you put a new bearing in there. You gotta get this ball joint out, tie rod out. Let's get that out. That should just fall straight down. Damn, dude, that's so clapped out. The steering on this thing is like almost dangerous. Damn, dude, all these ball joints are so bad. Dude, there's no grease. That's just metal on metal. Dude, I wonder if you guys can hear that. Dude, that might be the hands down the worst ball joint I've ever heard in my life. There's nothing in there. Just metal on metal. So this lower ball joint right here, I'm pretty sure there's no clip or nothing. I think it's pressed in. This is a rusty mess. I'm just gonna soak this. I'll probably soak it all night. I don't even think I'm gonna try to press it out today. I'll clean it up with a wire wheel, make sure there's no clip, but. Dude, I sprayed these down with PB Blaster like 3 days ago. That was the best idea I've ever had in my life. There's so much grease on this. I don't even know where the wrench would go. Holy shit. That was on way too tight. I don't even know if you guys can see anything. There's lights up there. Hands down the worst. Well, I gotta get that ball joint out. I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow for that. Like I said, probably wait till tomorrow for that upper control arm, let all this stuff soak. I gotta get this sway bar out. Gonna have to use the big impact on it. Here, these parts just showed up. I'll just open them real quick since they're here. You get all new sway bars. They actually come with nuts now. Inner tie rods. These are actually thicker than the factory ones, so that's cool. Here's an outer tie rod. Here's a pitman arm. Here's this doohickey. I don't remember what this is called. Here's control arms and ball joints. Oh yeah, this would be a sweet way for me to tell. Yeah, see, these are just pushed in. So I can just put my press on there and push them downwards. There's no clip or nothing. These are just press fit. But there you go. And then here's my stabilizer bar. I mean, it's just like a shock. You guys don't need to see that opened up, right? And then these are lug nuts. All right, it'll be a second year world, but I'm gonna call it a night. See you back out here, and like I said, a second year world. Okay, well, I kind of dropped the ball on recording. I just got in the zone. I'm going to have to just explain it. So you got this bar that goes across the top. I'll show you a little bit better once I put it back together. And you got an arm that goes in there, and an arm that goes in there, goes right there. You see that pitman arm? And then there was another pitman arm right there. It's gonna be hard for me to explain until I get it back together. This whole thing came off, the frame. That's just where I'm at. I'm gonna have to walk you through it as I put it back together. I got the whole steering bar out here. I degreased it, cleaned it all up. Tie rods go into each side of that. Pitman arms hook onto it. Stabilizer shock hooks onto that. That's the only piece that I have to keep. Everything else is new. So, still sitting here trying to struggle. This thing's really kicking my ass to get this one off the whole steering mechanism thing. I've been doing everything I can. I had it soaking in PB Blaster. I heated it up to, it was like cherry red. Been prying on that thing. Okay, I broke down. I ended up watching a video, but the guy takes the whole steering box off and uses like a puller, like a pitman arm puller. I don't know. But he disconnected his lines and his steering column and everything. I'm gonna try to just take these two bolts out right here and move it out the way and get it right in the middle. And maybe I can just get a puller on there while it's still in the car. I'm trying not to disconnect all these lines in the steering column. That's what I'm trying not to have to do. Okay, the camera wasn't on, but I just took that last top bolt out. Now it's on the ground. Well, it's not on the ground, but there. There we go. Now I can get a puller on there. Oh. After hours of me just trying to rig stuff together, I tried to use two different pullers. Went and got the pitman arm puller. I thought that was gonna be like a $100 part. It's like $8. So I don't know what I was doing all morning. I got new cam bolts. Got 2 sets of them. I got some bigger sockets because the biggest I go to is a 32. So I got a 33 and a 34. So the pitman puller, if you've never used one before, it's just a 2-prong puller. And if your pitman arm sits in there like this, you're gonna put this in there sideways and then slide it and pull it down. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film while I'm in there. I mean, it's gonna be hard to be able to show you and do everything else. Finally came off. Big impact, running forever. I did put the grease fitting on first because it's gonna be hard to put on once this is in the car. Let's get that other thing, put it back in there. So there's the old one that goes on the passenger side. I don't know what this is called. This is like a second pitman arm, and then that bracket, it just sits on the passenger side of the truck. You gotta get a 24 and then a 12 to hold the top, or this whole thing just wants to spin. Okay, and then this is up in the truck, so I put grease and everything. And this is actually a little bit longer than my other one. And the one video I watched, the guy got this kit, I'm pretty sure too, because he said his was longer and he ended up just taking a Dremel to that. So I think that's what I'm gonna have to do too. Because I don't think this is gonna fit in there. I got it in there. I had to cut that little nipple off, like I said. Like when I tightened it, it was just way too long. It was hitting the frame and I couldn't get it pushed back all the way on the one side. But I am going to wipe these off a little bit and throw just a drop of thread locker, some blue thread locker on there, just so these don't ever come loose, because they don't have lock washers. They're just regular washers on this. That's how it came. And the kit I bought didn't give me new hardware. I mean, you can't really complain when the kit was everything for 150 bucks. factory freaking parts. But I mean, I would have rather paid an extra 10 bucks for $8 worth of hardware. All right, let me tighten this up. Okay, the camera wasn't on again. I thought it was, just sitting here talking to myself. That steering box right there, I take off to get that Pitman arm. Pretty sure you guys already seen that. That is not fun to get lined up. If you're doing this by yourself, if you had a buddy to hold that in place and then someone else ran the bolts in, it would have been a lot easier. Get that one started, then pivot it to that other one, and then sit there and leave everything loose, and then you gotta try to line the top one up. There's 3 of them in there. I don't know what the torque is. I just ran them home with the big impact. Shouldn't have to come off for another 300,000 miles, right? This truck will probably be in the junkyard by then. Let's get the steering bar back in. Let's just check these grease fittings, make sure these still work before I go and put it back in, and have to take it back out to get the grease fittings. Yep. This one is the forward one, and then that one. These need to be nice snug, but you don't need to run these on with an impact. Kind of like a ball joint, you got a cotter key. There we go, got the steering bar back in. Now we gotta hook up the shock. I gotta scrape off all this grease off this frame. That's gonna drive me nuts. All right, I just been down here scraping the frame. Yeah, it's a work truck, but I still can't just bring myself to leave this like this. Especially with all this grease everywhere. Everything was blown out on this truck. Look at this. I'm sure someone's gonna be like, I would have just left the grease. It'd be better than it rusting. Yeah, I understand that, but we can oil spray this. Or undercoat it if I can get it real nice. Grease everywhere. All right, I'll bring it back. I'm just gonna keep scraping the frame. All right, here's the old stabilizer shock. I'm hoping it came with all new hardware because I don't know what I do. This is not the right, oh, it is. It just came with that instead. Yep, there we go. This is a weird setup, but whatever. Everything needs tightened up. The steering's pretty much put back together. All right, let's do a control arm. I don't think it matters. I think they're both the same. I'm gonna check though. Oh, I can set up the tie rods. I'll put the tie rods together and get them somewhat close to the old ones. So at least they're not like way off, you know what I mean? All right, that should be somewhat close. All right, new tie rods. Okay, got a new wheel bearing. One's lost. If you've been here for a while, that's not really a big surprise that something I ordered got lost. Oh, and by the way, they only make these wheel hubs anymore. You can't buy the ones without the hole in them. 4-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive is all the same now. But here's the knuckle, and you gotta clean it all out. See all that? You gotta clean that all out. And you can actually put never sees or grease or anything you want in there because it's bolted in, it's not pressed in. So you don't have to worry about that coming back out. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna clean this whole thing and paint it because everything else is gonna be new. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean this whole thing up and paint it. I'll bring it back. All right, I got them all cleaned up and taped off. Yeah, I should hang them. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not sanding them between primer either. So you guys can get mad at me about that. You can't even lie, 90% of you guys wouldn't even paint these, so don't get on my shit. I think I'm calling that good. 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of paint. I just wanted to clean it up a little bit. Get all the grease and nasty gummy stuff out of there. Clean up all the rust chips that are gonna fall off anyways. And just make it match all the other control arms and tie rods and bushings and everything that's new. Alright boys, back out here. Shop is a disaster. I kind of just been running around all morning. I don't know how much I recorded yesterday, but like I put these camber bolts in and the one pack didn't come with nuts. Oh, and this is all dried. I recorded that. These are the knuckles or the spindles, whatever you want to call them. Oh, and I got new flap wheels because I got to clean that center thing up some more. And I'm pretty sure I already said this, but you can definitely put never sees in this because it's bolted. Let's put these camber bolts in real quick. And now I came with new nuts this time. Let's get these kind of snug to where you can still move them. When you put this wheel bearing on, you can just dab it in there. I don't have anyone here to help me today, so I probably should have waited to put the wheel bearing on or the hub on, but whatever. I'm gonna use my little jack table. It's a ball joint press tool. Dude, this jack table's got the truck off the engine stand. This thing's only supposed to hold like 300 pounds. So I'm gonna stay away from it. Okay, and while you got this whole arm jacked up, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and put this sway bar end link in if you can fit it in. What's fucking cricket in here? Did you guys hear that? Did it come across on camera? That's the loudest cricket I ever heard in my life. Okay, you don't want to send this home yet. Not until you get the other side on, because if you put this one on super tight, that one will barely be on. You gotta pretty much do these at the same time. That's so much nicer. Didn't even do this side yet. The steering wheel was so much tighter. Now that that side's all together, we can grease everything. Pretty much as far as I can go over here till I get rotors. I'm gonna see if these calipers are good though. Let me check those real quick. Throw a brake pad and a C-clamp in there. Open up this brake fluid reservoir. Get a C-clamp and get a brake pad. And then put the brake pad in there. Sometimes you can do both at the same time. Sometimes you gotta do one at a time. Oh yeah, dude, this caliper's good. We're running this caliper. I don't know if you guys can see since I have no light over here. Okay, both calipers are good. All right, I don't think I recorded the other side of putting this lower ball joint in because my buddy did it. You pretty much just gotta use the ball joint press. You gotta tap it in to get it started. Now the reason why I'm tapping and not just using the press immediately is we already screwed one up, to be honest with you. We didn't record it, but this is at an angle. So if you run the press on with like an impact, the whole ball joint just goes in at an angle. So if you go around, tap it, and get it started like 25% in, then you can use the press. Then throw your grease fitting on. Make sure you don't have this on before you start doing this. You just bend it with your press. Okay, I pretty much gotta do everything I did over here, over on the other side. So there's no point filming it twice. All right, boys, back out here. It's now been 3 times that this wheel bearing, or this hub, whatever you want to call it, has been missing. It's just ridiculous. But I got rotors and pads, so I guess I'm gonna finish this side. There was 2 options for the rear, so we just got both of them. But here's the front pads. It came with new plates. It came with new squeaker plates, so I'm probably gonna paint these. So yeah, this is just the bracket that bolts on right there. It holds the caliper. Okay, obviously the bigger ones go on the front. Yeah, and then that bracket will just go there, but that's gonna be ugly as shit. And then that's gonna be ugly as shit. I really don't want to paint calipers. I was going back and forth on if I was gonna paint these or not, but I can't not do it. Alright boys, back out here. Ignore why the whole front of the truck's tore apart. I started working on the coolers. I'm upgrading all the coolers, trans cooler, oil cooler, power steering cooler. I was waiting for the caliper brackets to dry. Still waiting for the hub bearing to show up from the other one. These came out really good actually, for like little sanding I did and just spray cans. They came out pretty good. Well, we might as well put those squeaker plates on. I don't actually know the real name for these. I just know that they like help the brakes slide and stop squeaking. Oh yeah, this bracket just goes on like this, boys. I don't know, man, that's a pretty tight fit. I might have to take this back off and sand this paint off where these clips go. That one went on a lot easier. I don't know why that front one gave me such a hard time. I wasn't recording it, but that front one was kind of my butt. That caliper looks ugly as shit, but calipers aren't gonna last forever, so I wasn't gonna strip it all down and paint it because it'll probably need new calipers in less than a year. So there you go, whole new front end. Gotta do the same thing on the other side, but I still don't have the hub. This is now the 4th time they promised me it was gonna be here today. But that's it, I will see you in the next one. It'll probably be the coolers because I've already started that and recorded that, you just haven't seen it yet. This truck is gonna be a tank, boys. See ya.